Hello, guys. Today we are going to discuss the lead code problem, which is sorting the sentence, which is a very easy problem. So, first of all, we will read the prompt and then we will try to understand what the problem is about. It says a sentence is a list of words that are separated by a single space with no leading or trailing spaces. So basically, this is a sentence. There is no space before is whatever the first word is, and there is no space after the last word. Each word consists of lowercase and uppercase English letters. So we can have upper or lowercase letters, although this is not going to affect our problem in any way. A sentence can be shuffled by appending the one index word position to each word, then rearranging the words in the sentence. So if I need to shuffle a sentence, what I need to do first, I need to put the position of that word and then rearrange it. So if we see here, this is the word. The position of this is actually one. Is the position of is two, and the position of this word sentence is fourth position, and the position of word a is the third position. So and then when we need to arrange this sentence, we need to arrange based on these indexes, the indexes that are appended at the end of each word. So we need to append based on this condition. Okay. All right, so let's try to understand how we can implement it. We are going to implement it by using the selection sort algorithm, which basically do the swapping of two words once only. So let's take an example. Our example is a sentence where is, for example, and then there is the index of this word, and then a word sentence with an index. So all the words have the index with it. All right. So, and after arranging this sentence, this is what we are going to get. So, forget about these words. Just forget for time being. Just forget these words and just assume how these words are in an array. So, the first is two, and then comes four, and then comes one, and then comes three. So, for example, if we need to arrange it using a selection sort, what are we going to do? So we will have two loops. One loop is the ith loop that will index the array starting from the first position till the end, and there will be a jth loop that is going to basically index starting from I plus one element till the end. So basically, what we are in selection sort, we are going to divide the array in two parts in such a way that after every iteration, this part will be the sorted part and this part will be the unsorted part. How we are going to do this? So we will keep three variables, I, j, and a minimum value, minimum index variable. Okay. So the first time, the I will start from 0, the j will start from I plus 1, because the indexes are starting from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the I loop will start from 0. The j loop always start from I plus 1 position. So j will have a 1 value. And the minimum, when we are going to start our loop, we are going to initialize minimum index as to be the ith index. Like we consider that this value is the minimum value. So I say that my minimum value is the 0 is 0 as well. Now what we are going to do? Once we started this loop, in the jth loop, we are going to compare if the element at j position is less than the minimum index value, then what you need to do, just change this minimum index. Okay, so let's see what I mean to say. All right, so the loop will start and we will see that what is our minimum. Our minimum is 2, which at the moment the minimum is pointing to 2. This is my minimum, right? Okay, I am going to compare the j is going to run, not because this is the I, and j always run from this position till the end position, right? So now what I'm going to do is I need to check, is the jth element, which is 4, is it less than 2? No, it is not. Okay, then just pass it. Now my j will come to this point. Now I'm going to check, is this value less than the minimum value? So because the minimum is pointing to the zeroth index, right? So yes, the minimum, this jth value is less than the minimum value. Then what you need to do, change this minimum to 2, the index value, because in minimum we are not going to put the element value, we are just putting the index value. So now my minimum is 2. It's no more 0 value. All right, now let's move forward. So what we need to do is we need to check, is this 3 value greater, less than the value at minimum. So my minimum is pointing at this place right now, my j is pointing, so let's make j here. So let's make j here, this is my j now, and this is my minimum now. I'm canceling minimum from here, so minimum is here. Okay, this is my minimum. So compare, is it less than? No, it is not. So keep the minimum, and my internal loop is already finished. So after the first iteration, my minimum is going to get the value 2. Now after this loop ends, I'm going to compare, is I not equal to minimum? So is I not equal to minimum? So if I write minimum here, that will be better. So I is basically the 0th position. Minimum is basically the 2th position. So basically 0, what it tells me, 0 is not equal to 2. Okay. If so, then swap these elements. So this is the first time I'm going to do the swapping. So after the first iteration, this will become 1 and this will become 2. So now you will see that my array is going to be sorted from here. The element on the left side is going to be sorted, and the element on the right side is going to be unsorted. So now after the first iteration, my 0 is going to be starting from 1, and my j is going to be starting from 2, and I'm going to repeat the same process. After this iteration, my this part of the array is going to be sorted. All right, now let's see how we are going to implement it in a code. All right, let's start. So you will be thinking like, we are going to have an array, but an array of words, how I'm going to traverse that array with the values. So basically, if I repeat the thing, we have the sentences, right? So we have the sentences, but we need to operate these words. So first of all, I need to use the split function, and what the split function is going to do, it is going to split this whole array into the array of words. So when I use the function split, it will make like sorry, is 2 will be my first element in the array. Sentence, I'm not going to write it whole, so sentence 4 will be my second word in the array, and this, like this one is my third word in the array, and a3 is my fourth word in the array. This, so when I run the split function, this is how what I'm going to get. So let's back. All right, so I'm going to write, the first thing is, I will write the name of the array, my new array, as shuffle. Okay, shuffle is equal to s, which is my array that is given here, s dot split. So, and then how I'm going to split it, with the space. So wherever there is a space, split the characters. So you can use the split function for any other thing as well, but we are splitting based on the spaces. All right. So shuffle is my array that will have all the words, but uh, all the sentences split it into different elements of the string. Now I will create another string, final, or I just write final sentence. This is the one that we are going to output. So at the start, the final sentence shouldn't have anything. Now I'm going to start my index for I in range length of shuffle. So the first thing I need to do is I need to assign minimum index value. As I told you, the minimum index value will always start from ith I thing. So it is equal to I, and then I'm going to start the inner loop for j in range, and from where it should start from I plus 1 position. So I plus 1 till length of shuffle. And shuffle is my array. So, okay. Now what we need to check? We need to check if shuffle j, and I'm going to, I'll just, let me write this thing and then I'm going to explain you what it does. Is less than shuffle minimum index ith position. So the last position. So this minus one, what does it do? So in Python, what you do if you want to have the last character, you always write the minus one thing, right? So when I write minus one for an array, it will give you the last element of the array. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to, for the jth element, whatever the element we are talking about, for example, this element I'm talking about, when it is in the shuffle array, I'm going to take the last element and then I need to check it with the last element of the second, of the next element, whatever the next element is. Okay. So if the shuffle jth last element is less than minimum index last element, if it is so, then that means I need to change my minimum index because I have found another index. So minimum index is equal to j, right? So this way you are going to get the minimum index by this loop. Now we need to check if I is not equal to minimum index. That means we have found another minimum index. What you need to do, you have to swap the values, and in Python you can swap the values in one line. I'm going to show you how. You are going to write shuffle minimum index comma shuffle I is equal to, and now you are going to write them opposite. So it is basically now you don't need another temp variable. So now you are going to write shuffle I comma shuffle minimum index. So this way you are going to swap the values. Now I got, after executing this whole part, one of my initial index, wherever the I is pointing, that index is basically sorted. So now I need to add it to the sentence. So my final sentence plus equal to whatever the shuffle ith index is pointing, but I want all the elements, sorry, I want all the elements except the last element. So when we are want, whenever I want all the elements, but I want to exclude it, this is how I'm going to write it. And then what you need to do is add a space. All right. So this is how it is going to add each word except the last character to the final sentence. All right. So now what I need to return, I need to return the final sentence, but I don't need to add us, like I need to remove the space from the last character. So what I need to do, what should I return? I should return everything except the last character. Let's run it. Wow, it is accepted. So let's submit it. It's showing you 24, but it is sometimes showing 80%, sometimes it's showing 70%. So don't worry, this is the efficient solution, and I hope that the solution is clear to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.